Hi, everyone, and welcome. Well, this is the last episode of season one. Hard to believe we've been through a year already, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed doing this on your behalf, and we're looking forward to season two. So we're not going anywhere. We start season two then next month. But in the meantime, as far as the month of June is concerned, we've got a lot going on. We will talk about in this episode what we have planned for the Irish Saturday. We will talk about the upcoming webinar for the month of June. This is always one of those sought after ones. A lot of people are interested in this one, and we'll talk about that coming up. And then also we're going to be talking about the Irish harp. I ran into a gentleman recently who's been playing it for years and never really took any formal lessons, just kind of picked it up. So we'll tell you that story as well. But in the meantime, here's what we got coming up for the month of June. The June version of the Irish Saturday will be held on June 10th. So stop on by the Hoffman Research Library, which is located at the Minnesota Genealogy Center in Mendota Heights, Minnesota. Now, here's an opportunity to get some of your Irish research questions answered. The Minnesota Genealogy Center is located at 1385 Mendota Heights Road, Suite 100. You can also stop by the library during regular business hours. And to find out more about the library and hours of operation, go to the website at mngs.org. One of our most popular monthly webinars is going to be in the month of June, and that's going to feature Lois Mackin, Tom Rice, and Mary Wickersham. And they'll be presenting a session called Challenges in Irish Family Research, our brick wall panel discussion. Now, brick wall queries have been submitted by members in advance and will be used by the panelists to offer specific research questions. Now, this is one of those precious opportunities to look over the shoulders of an experienced research team as they tackle ancestral mysteries. I had a chance to speak to Lois Mackin and Tom Rice regarding the topic of the brick wall, and they both had some interesting comments on what is the brick wall in your research and whether it should really be called that or maybe something else.
Well, a brick wall is a common term for when you have reached an impasse. It's as if you're walking along a pathway and suddenly there's a solid brick wall in front of you. This is a term that I really don't like because lots of times these walls are not really made out of brick. They're permeable and you can get past them and you can solve them. So I like to call them unsolved problems.
There's a genuine brick wall where there just is not resources to find the answer to your question. There are places where the records run out and they just aren't there. You're just not going to find it. That's a genuine brick wall. The others, I think, are sometimes the person's own doing, that they haven't learned enough about the type of records, the type of resources that are in an area, and looked more broadly. I meet people who tell me they've been working on a problem for 20 years, and you find out they've been doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something to appear.
Now, this important webinar will be held on June 17th from 10:30 a.m. until noon Central Daylight Time. Again, the cost for members is $15 and $25 for non-members. You know, when you stop to think about Irish heritage, one of the things that always comes to mind is the Irish harp. It is a symbol that is very important in Ireland, and it's also a very soothing and comforting feeling when you listen to the Irish harp playing. Well, recently I was at a Shamrock Club meeting, and I had a chance to talk to the gentleman who was performing, who has been playing an Irish harp for a long time, and he said that he really didn't have to learn very much. He just kind of picked it up, which to me was interesting because I think it was kind of difficult to learn how to play it, but he said it was really easy for him. Jeff Pauquat has been playing the Irish harp for almost 40 years, and I asked him recently, as I was watching a performance at the Shamrock Club in Northeast Wisconsin, what he liked the most about the Irish harp.
With me, it was the history of the music, the players, the history of the country. It was thing that took me away when I first started. I started getting a hold of every little tidbit about Irish harp and recording of Irish harp that I could find. And finally I heard Patrick Ball playing his music of Turlock O'Carolan, and I knew I had to play the wire strum. So that's what hauled me away. I was, basically able to pick out the melodies, and I know chord structure, so I start out, and then I'd add the chords, And then pretty soon, instead of just chords, I'd start doing runs and adding ornamentation. And I never really had a formal lesson. I spent some time with Glenn Johnson, the guy that had first introduced me to it up in Shawano. And I spent a little time with Ann Heyman from Minnesota to learn a few things. But otherwise, it's basically what I can find listening to recordings and watching on, nowadays I can get a lot of the information on YouTube and stuff like that.
That is really neat. Well, anyway, are you a member of the IGSI? Well, if you're interested in joining, here's what you do. Head to the website at irishgenealogical.org. There you'll find the join link on the left side of the page, and that's where you can sign up and become a member. You can also register for any of the webinars this year on the website as well, and as a member you can also see past webinars from the previous year. And besides enjoying all the members' benefits, you can always sign in and go over many of the programs and services that the IGSI has to offer, and that would include viewing past webinars, surname interests, the e-newsletter, or maybe you'd like to receive some assistance from the research services. Well, you can see, even though we're in the summer months, we still have a lot of activities going on throughout the month of June and throughout the summer as well. So we hope to see you at many of the events coming up, again, that the IGSI will be hosting. And keep in mind now, in a couple months, we're going to be out there at some of the Irish Fests as well, so hope to see you at some of those coming up. So that's our episode. Again, that wraps up Season 1, and we'll begin Season 2 coming up in July. So look forward to all the activities that are coming up, and we look forward to seeing you at some of those as well. Have a good month.